Palace, spring 2025. Now, I've made my feelings very known about Palace and how much I hate the company and the people that work behind it, and the fact that I'd never wear it because I was treated very badly one very, very brief moment in the past. But I'm a very bitter and angry person. So when somebody slights me, even if it's sometime in the past, I cannot let it go. But I can still be objective and call the clothes nice when I see them. Personally, I think Palace's like allure has sort of waned over the years, mostly because I feel like they put out too much stuff. I feel like they put out way too much stuff. I feel like there's too many collaborations. I feel like, actually, you know what? I feel like the collaborations sometimes overshadow their main collection. I actually don't mind their main stuff, but I think they do so many collabs, you actually ignore their main stuff. Even though the collabs are really sick. For instance, that Vivienne Westwood one from last season was fucking special. They've done a lot of good stuff with Oakley too. But I feel like their collaborations overshadow their main collection, and it just ends up being too much stuff. Like how much, like, I still think about that Gucci one they did. They did a really good Gucci collaboration that was always, I think that must have been like easily over 60 pieces. Might have been over 100. So I don't even know who has that, you know? Like how much of that will you have? Are you then meant to buy the Oakley stuff? And then you're meant to buy the seasonal stuff 2 times a season or 2 times a year. It's just way too much product. Too much product gives me a headache. And if anything, it's the complete opposite of sustainability, really. They're just churning out clothes. I don't know who fucking wears this stuff, but regardless, they put it out. But like I said before, I personally prefer their main collection. So they have updated their website and put up the lookbook for spring, summer 2025. Before Supreme, actually. I think Supreme one's meant to be coming in a few weeks, probably, right? Supreme probably should be soon. I just feel like whenever Palace drop their spring, summer 2025 collection, usually Supreme put theirs one out too. Anyway, this is Palace's one. So let's see what they have. Let's see what they have. First things first, courtesy of Palace here, we have this leather, what would you call that? Would you call that a leather jacket or would you call that a leather shirt? I'm going to call it a jacket. I'm going to say it's more of a jacket. It's really nice, to be fair. Maybe the standout piece in the collection. Every panel has a different type of finish. One panel here on the front pocket has tumbled leather. The sleeves have this different sort of aged leather effect. And then each panel here, this one on the top, has a little bit more of a dark brown panel effect. Then you got this kind of rustic brown. You got another one that's kind of orange and burnt. Yeah, so I love this. That's a really nice. It almost looks like a denim trucker jacket. I forgot what the shape is. Is it a 101? Like a Levi's 101 shape? It almost kind of looks like that. So I really like the shape of that jacket. This jacket also on the side, on the right hand side, covered in flowers, is also really cool. It almost looks like a painting of flowers that's done in like watercolor and stuff. Or it can remind me of some sort of like a piece that they've taken from like an actual art piece, and they've kind of copied the pattern around the entirety of the jacket. Either way, it looks really fucking cool. I ain't mad at it in the slightest. Let me actually zoom in and just do the whole thing. So if I zoom in a little bit here, what else do they have available here? If I zoom in a little bit, what else do they have? They've got a cardigan here that's not too shabby. The cardigan on the left is not too shabby. The cardigan kind of is giving me Heaven by Marc Jacobs vibe. I'm not going to lie. It's got similar sort of rose petal design. And I think in general anyway, I'm kind of done with cardigans and streetwear. You know, like I'm kind of done with that look. But yeah, the cardigan looks fairly decent. There's also a real tree camo hat that the model's wearing. There's also a pretty cool trucker. Is it, what do you call it? Trucker? Is it called trucker hat? Trapper? I forgot what they called. The hats have got the ear flaps. So sort of like a Russian hat, but it's got a beak and it's got a little Palace embroidery there. There's also a Palace hoodie that the model's wearing. There's a nice Palace jumper here with the lion. No, sorry, with a tiger on the front. That tiger reminds me of the same tiger they use on the Uggs. So maybe this is part of the tie-in. Maybe this is indication we're going to get more Uggs coming up in the future. Because I feel like every Ugg they've done, they've had this kind of, they've had that lion design. There's also a Palace, what looks like some sort of performance sportswear jacket. Looks like it's got tape seams and shit. It looks really fast, by the way, the jacket on the left. It looks really fast. There's also a really cool pocket here where I think you can slip your phone in. That's pretty cool. It's a Gore-Tex jacket. And it looks like there's a little pocket here that's transparent where you can kind of slip your phone in, I'm assuming, and you can see while going with your phone screen without having to take it out. So I'm not too mad at that. It continues. We've also got a zip-up hoodie, which is not too bad, with Palace on the front and a couple of patches. Oh, that motocross long sleeve is really cool, by the way. I think that's a Japanese. Was it? They call them JBM, JMB, whatever, or something. I forgot the term of it. But there's a Japanese car there. It looks like, or some sort of Japanese iconography in this long sleeve jersey design. Is really cool. There's also some shorts. I'm not really too mad at. Oh, that camo piece is really nice, by the way. Again, I'd never wear it because I hate the brand, hate the people behind it. But if I had to wear something, this camo brand is actually, this camo jacket is actually pretty nice. It's a camo down jacket and it has Palace London embroidered on the back. Obviously, they love a big logo on their back, but it's not crazy. It's almost tonal. I think the thread is the same color as this little light olive green section here, so it's not too shabby. Is that like velour? What's that material? Oh, it's corduroy. That's pretty interesting, isn't it? So there's a corduroy camo down jacket. Not too mad at that in the slightest. That's actually a really cool material application there. Looks really nice, I'm not gonna lie. Something about it, the zip looks a bit cheap though. I don't know what about the zip. The zip looks a little bit cheap, but it does look really cool. I love the idea of getting a down jacket instead of having it whatever regular materials down jackets are in. You have it in this corduroy material, and you also have the logo on the back embroidered in the tonal, so it doesn't stick out as much. And I also ain't mad at this barbed wire snapback. The barbed wire snapback is pretty hard as well. I wonder if they'll have that on other bits and pieces as well going forward. Let's continue. What else do they have here? T-shirt. Oh, they got, that's a pretty cool design. They've got a T-shirt of South Bank, an illustration. I wonder who did the illustration. Maybe it's an original illustration of South Bank, but that's pretty cool. The famous London skate spot there. They've also got a hoodie here with some prints on the sleeves, which I'm not mad at as well. They've got a nice track jacket. I'm assuming comes in a tracksuit. Oh, it kind of reminds me, the logo kind of reminds me of Bayern Munich. It almost feels like a Bayern Munich flip. It's white though, so it'll end up probably getting stained very easily. But the logo kind of looks Bayern Munich-y. I love what they've done here with the styling with the woolly hat. The woolly hat, this is almost like a studded belt design. So they've got a black woolly hat, studded belt design, but it spells out Palace. That's a pretty cool little option there. Another old man cardigan. Again, not for me. Hate cardigans. And it looks, yeah, it looks kind of crazy on him as well because he's really skinny. But I'm not really the biggest fan of the cardigans. That racing jacket is really nice. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the racing jacket that Drake made for OVO. Not gonna lie, the blue one. It's kind of really, it's really cool though. It says Palace Racing Team, and it's got an embroidery. Is that an embroidery? Yes, an embroidery of some sort of Japanese supercar, racing car, whatever they're on the side. I'm not too mad at that in the slightest. There's also a nice purple hoodie with a shiesty, a long sleeve with a cobra graphic design on it. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'm not mad at that at all. I ain't mad at that as well. That's a pretty cool. They've taken the Gold's Gym logo and flipped it and did Palace Gym, strong for longer. And then it's got the guy with the barbell hanging on his dick, full erection. That's a pretty cool design. I'm not gonna lie. That's a really funny and cool design. That would be very popular. There's also a hoodie with a fur hood, a regular zip-up hoodie with a fur hood, which is not too shabby. I'm not mad at that in the slightest. This sweater here is really nice, actually. I love what they've done here with the colors. It looks very Ralph. It looks very polo. I ain't mad at that. Fisherman. Okay, that tracksuit. That tracksuit. This one left here is a thermal top and shorts. The tracksuit here on the left is really cool too. Not mad at that as well. That tracksuit here on the left is really nice. The blue one. It also features some other type. Is that I don't know what you call that print or whatever that design is really nice. It almost feels like a. Is it like a Tinkerbell sort of thing going on there with the graphic on the top? I'm not sure if it's digitally been printed on there, but it's really cool. I'm not mad at that in the slightest. And it's that you also get the Palace Gym hat as well. It comes in a hat. That's a really nice. I'd probably wear that. That's really cool. That's awesome. Palace Gym with a fucking barbell hanging on the erection. That's absolutely hilarious. We've also got another sweatshirt here in a almost ivory bone colorway, which is not mad at as well with the logo. But again, I'm not the biggest fan of wearing stuff like that with big branding logo on it. And there's also this hoodie as well, which is a camo. It's kind of bapish. I'm not gonna lie. I quite like that hoodie on the right hand side. It's a mix of like grey, greens, and purple camo. It almost kind of makes it look like a Bape hoodie. I'm not mad at that in the slightest. I ain't mad at that in the slightest. And she's also wearing some sort of like real tree. It looks like camo top or something. Not sure what's going on there, but I'm not mad at that. I am also mad at the pants that he's got on there. Oh, that varsity is really hard, but it's kind of ruined by that line, isn't it? By that line. Like you said, line by the tiger design. It's kind of ruined by that tiger. I'm not gonna lie. The varsity design style is really cool. Or maybe I'd take away the palace on the front and maybe put that at the back. But there's Tora and then palace on the front. But I think it's kind of ruined by that tiger. Maybe it's a little bit too. Maybe I'd prefer it tonal or strip back the colors or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's the varsity jacket, which will probably be the most popular piece, I'm assuming. Kids nowadays love varsity jackets, so it features the tiger embroidery on the back. It's probably gonna be worth a bunch because this looks expensive to make. Yeah, it looks like it costs a lot to make, and there's also some cool designs as well, features on the sleeves. You've got Palace as well written on the front of the jacket, and on the one side there's like got a design where it's been like scratched by, I guess, the tiger's claws that scratched through the ACE there. And there's also here London, New York, Tokyo, Los Angeles, Seoul. So are these where all the stores? This is where they have stores, right? I'm assuming each place they have stores there. I'm assuming, and there's logos and patches as well on the sleeves. There's also a matching hat for that racing jacket we saw earlier. Okay, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. The shape as well looks pretty decent because I've got a big head, so usually trucker hats don't fit my head. So this shape is pretty nice. It looks quite big. But yeah, the varsity is cool, but I just don't like that logo, the big massive tiger on the back. I think it's a bit overkill. Oh, this is not too shabby. Oh, that's the same print that was featured on the trousers. I don't know what that is. If it's like a tree bark or something, that's not too bad. This graphic I'm not really fond of in the slightest. It's like the Palace logo, and it's intertwined with like roses and shit and other prickly sort of leaves or plants, whatever. I'm not really the biggest fan of that, to be fair. Not for me. This is a pretty cool jacket. This grey one here isn't too shabby. I'm not mad at that in the slightest. There's also a nice sort of Velcro patch on the side so you can stick other little bits on if you want. There's a trucker hat there and another tracksuit. That jacket is pretty hard, to be fair. This jacket is like, I don't know what is that. What would you say that? Is that a landmass camo? Whatever that fucking thing is here on the right is really cool. And it also features a really cool Palace logo with the Palace P being a cobra. That is pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie, it's a really cool logo. As is this one here too, on the long sleeve with the A being a star. That isn't too shabby too. I ain't mad at that in the slightest. There's also a very neat. Is that a racing shirt? I think that's a cycling shirt there. P Star. I think this might be a cycling shirt here featured by the model. Looks pretty decent. The pictures are really good. Well taken, by the way. Whoever took the pictures really went crazy. Really, really cool pictures. The styling is actually quite awesome too. I'm not mad at that logo as well here on the left hand side. This logo is really cool. It almost features that. I wonder where that flip comes from. It features a tree. And it's got the Palace logo in green on a grey hoodie. Not too mad at that. There's also a velour tracksuit featured, which also isn't too shabby. The tracksuits are pretty hard, or the matching sets might be the hardest stuff. There's a raw denim one there. This one's really cool too. This matching set, this brown one with the white piping. It looks like a mixture of dark brown and like might be three browns. There's a dark brown, another type of brown here, a camel sort of thing, contrasting Palace logo embroidered there, and also the white piping. So yeah, that's not a shabby tracksuit. That also some standard long sleeve, short sleeve type of shits as well going on. What is that? Another P-Star cycling jacket? I'm not sure. Oh, this is nice. Is that K-Way? Yeah, it's like a K-Way collaboration. I think so. Is that K-Way collaboration? Yeah, it is. It's a K-Way and Palace collaboration. Also, that doesn't look too shabby. Patchwork design, which weirdly enough might be one of their cheapest ones. I think K-Way stuff is usually quite cheap and affordable. Again, another flip on that Bayern Munich logo thing going on there. Yeah, not mad at it. That logo with the Tinkerbell thing as well on the back is pretty cool. Yeah, decent stuff. Decent stuff. I think for most streetwear brands, the best stuff that they make is usually autumn winter. But they've done alright. They've done alright. So I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it in the slightest. And obviously you got some further close-up pictures of the stuff. Let me take a closer look at probably the standout piece is probably this. This is probably going to be the most in-demand jacket I think in the whole collection, which is this Sprinter jacket in floral camo, which is pretty cool. This is probably the best stuff, the best one they've made, to be fair. and from from far, it looks like your standard like shell jacket covered, you know, with a different print. But if you actually zoom in, there's different panels. There's about 4, no, maybe more than 4. Just off the plain eye, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, different type of shapes. And I love what they've done here with this almost hourglass figure shape in the middle here, with this white piping. I wonder if this white piping is 3M. And I think it's also got like invisible pockets here on the side that you can fit into. But yeah, this might be the hardest thing. I love this little detail on the tip of the hat. So on the tip of the hood, there's a nice little 3M strip, a nice little 3M bar there. That's a pretty nice jacket, I'm not gonna lie. That might be the hardest thing they've got in this collection so far. Definitely gonna be the standout piece that I think a lot of people are gonna try and buy. Yeah, oh look, see, there you go. So there's a 3M piping on the side here, 3M piping logo, 3M piping on the tip of the hood as well. I didn't even see that logo on the front. Oh, it also comes in purple. But obviously the best colorway is definitely that floral one. It also comes in black. But for sure that floral one is definitely the best. You can't even doubt that one. And then what else is another piece that I think might be popular? Oh, the varsity jacket as well is going to be really popular, I think. This Tora varsity jacket. Yep. Orange lining is a nice little touch there. Reminds me of a MA1 bomber jacket. But like I said, I'll die on the hill where I think there's something about that design of the tiger that feels a bit off. Maybe that design of a tiger belongs on like a driver's jacket, you know, or maybe that sort of vibe. I'm not too sure, but maybe it doesn't belong on a varsity. Maybe there's just too much text. It's like this. There's like a paw with a 20, another 15 with another logo. Tora. There's a lot going on in that design, but the front is really cool. I like the front, but I think the back is a little bit crazy for me. And it also comes in all black too, with grey detailing, which is a bit boring. But yeah, cool. And then what else is another standout piece? One more standout piece I think people will be hyping on. Will probably be this hoodie here. I think this evergreen hoodie is going to do very well. Very simple, but I think this hoodie in this grey with that logo, it's very 90s. Very 90s skateboarding vibes, early 2000s vibes. So I think this will do really well. I quite like that design. So those are my 3 picks, courtesy of Palace. Spring 2020-25. When's it dropping? For those of you that give a fuck, it's dropping on Friday, February 7th. UK in-store, EU, US, NY, LA, and then it's launching on Saturday in Japan, Korea, and on WeChat. So it's launching in the UK international in-store on the 7th, and it's launching in Japan, Korea, and WeChat on the 8th. So check them out. You know where they are.